Welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man. It's Ole Walls, and I'm back with you, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 229 coming your way. Before we get there, just want to start off by saying thank you to everybody. Appreciate the watches, the support, the listens. So thank you. If you could, please rate, review, comment, subscribe, and share. Let them know Ole Walls House is the place to be. If you're looking for some sweet merch like this here hat, check it out at the link in the show notes below. On our merch shop, you can also find some full range pod merch in there. And don't forget to check out my guy MJ over on the Full Range Pod. That is the Full Range Pod on Spotify and Apple. And you can also find it on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. So, without much further ado, let's get into it. Wyndham Clark is your winner at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. I almost said Brian Nelson. I'm sorry, Lord Byron. It is not that way. CJ Cup Byron Nelson. Wyndham Clark, rounds of 66, 63, 65, and then a Sunday 60. Hey-oo! Multiple 60s this week. Best round of the day by 3 shots. Garrett Higgle, one of those guys. Didn't see that. He gets to 30 under total, wins by 3 over Siwoo Kim. I mean, Siwoo Kim had like a 5-shot lead after 2 rounds and shot 68-65 and lost. Here's another one. Siwoo Kim made 33 birdies this week, one shy of the PGA Tour 72-hole record. He lost by 3 shots. Like, shot 64, 60, 68, 65, 27 under, and just got absolutely run down by Wyndham Clark. Scotty Scheffler finishes 3rd at 25 under. He goes 66, 63, 65, 65. I mean, 65, 65 on the weekend. And you would have thought he made up no ground. I mean, he made up some shots on Siwoo on Saturday, but good Lord. Jackson Suber with a nice finish at 4th. Keith Mitchell, good finish. And then kind of the other name I was looking to point out was Blades Brown. Blades Brown finishes T14. Actually, this is how crazy it is. He shoots 67 on Sunday and falls 2 spots. This place was an absolute turkey shoot. I'm going to kind of get into that in a second, but Blades Brown's left with a really interesting kind of like quandary of what he is to do now. So he's 19 years old, turned pro 2 years ago in 2024. It might not officially be 2 years, but this year he's played in 7 PGA Tour events, has made the cut 6 times and finished top 25 4 times. He can essentially take a PGA Tour spot for the rest of the year, but does not guarantee him anything. I think officially in the FedEx Cup, he would be something like in the 70s range. Top 100 essentially gets you your card. Or he can take up, and it's like a conditional status on the PGA Tour, where he can take as many sponsor exemptions as he wants and all this stuff, but he could take a full Korn Ferry Tour membership, where he's currently like 13th. Yep, 13th. He has 2 top 10s, a second, a third, and then 5 top 25s. Made the cut in 6 of 8 starts. You know, it's a really interesting like thing. It's like, do you try and run it out on the PGA Tour this year and get yourself just right into the top 100 that way, make some cash along the way? Because in his Korn Ferry starts this year, he's made $188,000. And his PGA Tour starts this year, and one less start, he's made $751,000. Like, obviously, there's a lot more money to be made, but it's like, what is the best for you moving forward? It's just a very, very interesting thing from a guy who seems to have a lot of upside and a lot of stuff out in front of him. And obviously we go to Scotty Scheffler too this week. His 11th start this year, his 7th top 5. 7th top 5. He has not finished outside the top 25 in any starts. He has a T24 and a T22. And other than that, he's only finished outside the top 10 twice, a T12 and a T14 at Genesis and then the PGA Championship. Just as year goes, first, T3, T4, T12, T24, T22, second into a playoff, second, T14, third. Just stacking up money. I said this. Siwoo Kim got over $1 million for finishing second this week. Scotty Scheffler got $710,000 for finishing third at the CJ Cup. We need to reassess how much money is being doled out in the game of professional golf. Obviously, just got overinflated because of LIV, but like, what in the name of all that is holy are we doing? That second place at the CJ Cup hands out $1 million. I mean, come on. And I'm not just here to trash on the CJ Cup, because you know what? I sat there Saturday and Sunday and had it on. Didn't have a problem with it. Yeah, it's a birdie fest. Yeah, does the course leave something to be desired? Sure. Is Lanny Watkins getting skewered right now when they put a $25 million renovation in and they want it to be, they wanted it to be tougher, and he responds, "Don't worry, it will be." Like, okay, you're going to get skewered. But like, I didn't mind. Like, hey, do I need to watch that every week? And does the PGA Tour maybe lean too far that direction most weeks? Yes. But like, and do I need to watch it every week? No. But every once in a while, like, I'm fine. Like, not everything is Oakmont and Shinnecock and Aronimink and, and then in another vein, like, not everything's Pebble Beach and Genesis and, great, what all the golf Twitter and golf podcasters call the great, gem courses and all this stuff. Like, you know what? Guess what? The crowd was pretty good. The course, it was kind of an interesting tournament for the front nine. Wyndham Clark just kind of got away with it coming down the home stretch because he shot 60. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes it's just okay to put on a tournament that does attracts a good crowd. And there's going to be just an ass load of birdies. That's fine. I don't need the same thing every week. I don't need crazy greens and crazy pins every week. I want it, but you know what? This is going to happen too. And there's a finite number of golf courses that, with how far the ball goes and how good these guys are going to do anything. And guess what? It was soft and the wind did not blow. You know what happens every time that happens? Courses get absolutely torched. 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 And also, Aronimink played at a par 70. So scoring was kept under check. Just peel off 8 shots. Off this week, Wyndham Clark shoots 22 under. And last week, Aaron Rye would have shot 17 under. Okay, there we go. Like, again, 2 par. Par is just a number. A number. I would think this is a par 72. As I say this, I should kind of go back and double check this. Let me go back. Let me back up. I've moved on. I was on Blades Brown and Scotty's. That might be par 71. It's par 71. So take 4 off. So 26 under. No one cares now, right? And yes, I get it. This course isn't phenomenal. But like, who cares? Like, there was some fun stuff. Every once in a while, if I get to go watch a birdie fest, I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. Just let it happen. Let it happen. Wyndham Clark, by the way. I believe this is his first win since Wyndham. I should type in the rest of it because Wyndham just gives you the Wyndham Hotel. It was his second top 10 in the last 2 years, though. I know that for a fact. Second top 10 in the last 2 years. Yeah, he last won at the 2024 Pebble Beach, which was a rain-shortened thing. And then before that was 2023 U.S. Open and Wells Fargo. This season, 13 events, 1 top 10. Only 5 top 25s. Missed the cut at the Valspar and the Texas Children's Houston Open. Also missed the cut at the PGA. And just, found something here. Found something. Let's go. Found it. Here we are. I've got it, boys. Boys, I've got it. Yeah, 2025. 24 events. He made 18 cuts. 2 top 10s. The Texas Children's Houston Open in March of last year. And the Open Championship. Wow. What a wild one for him. The Open Championship. 76 followed by 66, 66, 65. Wildness. What are you doing 24? 8 top 10s, 9 top 25s, a win, 2 seconds, 4 top 5s. Like, okay, he was playing good golf. Did miss a couple cuts in there, as most people in the world do. You get talking about your Scotties and your whoever's, and you're like, this is just how it is. No, it very much is not how it is. So, Wyndham Clark, what a win. PGA Tour is at the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial. I don't even know who's in the field. It's not going to be that good. Scotty will be off because he always plays for this one. Goodson Dallas. Who won this last year? Ben Griffin? Benny Booms? Oh, Benny Booms. I feel like people are misunderstanding. He was talking about how much he's paid out this year. They're figuring about $50,000 a week. It's like, yeah, he's paying out $50,000 a week because so many of these tour guys set their stuff up in percentages for like their caddy. Their caddy gets paid a percentage of good finishes. Their trainers and their physio and their nutritionists like probably all get a portion of like success. So yeah, for him to pay out what he was paying out was because he made like $12 million last year. All right, so who's in the field at Colonial? JJ Spawn, Ludwig, Russell Henley, Alex Smalley, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, Ben Griffin, Hideki, Akshay, Gary Woodland, Keegan, Robert McIntyre, Ryan Gerard, Matt McCarty. But those are some of that's a decent field. This is the 3rd year after Gil Hanse's ambitious $25 million restoration of the venerable Dallas layout. So $50 million these last 2 weeks in restorations in the last 3 years to these 2 courses for as I said, like that's not a bad field. Like there's no studs, but like Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler are your most marketable guys. Ludwig maybe, but I mean that's a pretty inside golf guy. Like you're a common guy if you said Ludwig. Yeah, they might know it. I don't know. Who knows? Did I have something else? I felt like I had something else on golf. Oh, Scotty Scheffler at the CJ Cup. I think he made his first 5 of the week. His first 5 of the week came Sunday on 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he played 66 holes without making a 5, I think, if I remember this correctly. No 5 in round 1. No 5 in round 2. No 5 in round 3. Yeah, he made 1 5 the entire week. 1 5. One of them. Means he made 1 par on a par 5. And no bogeys on par 4s? Like none? How many bogeys did he make, period? He didn't make a bogey Thursday. He did not make a bogey Friday. He bogeyed the par 3 4th on Saturday. He made 1 bogey for the entire week and lost. Turkey shoot out there. Turkey shoot. How many bogeys did Wyndham make? He didn't make any on Sunday, that was for sure. He bogeyed 17 on Saturday. Wyndham made 2 bogeys. 2 bogeys this week. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. All right. I'm just looking at scorecards at this point. We can move on from the golf. There'll be better golf in about 2 weeks when we got Memorial, then we got the Canadian Open, then we got the PGA or the US Open. So let's keep going. Let's talk some Cleveland Guardians. Winners of 8 of the last 10, the Cleveland Guardians come off a series win over the Philadelphia Phillies this past weekend. Take the first one in a 1-0 and just an absolute pitcher's duel. I remember the date of this one, people. Friday, pitcher's duel. Gavin Williams goes 8 innings, allows just 4 hits, strikes out 11. On the other side, Christopher Sanchez, 8 innings, allows just 4 hits, couple walks, 2 strikeouts. And it's just a Kyle Manzardo solo bomb. Comes in pinch hitting, I believe. Yep, pitch hitter Kyle Manzardo. 1 at bat in the 8th, I think or in the 9th. It's the 9th. It was the 9th. I don't know. Whatever. Let's not get carried away here. Gives them the edge. And then, they only give up 3 runs on Saturday. Another good outing from the pitchers. Like Slade Ciccone goes 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, strikes out 5. But 3 runs isn't terrible. Festa Armstrong and Peyton Pallett, who I'm not super familiar with yet, come in. And then Sunday, Travis Bazzana, who we're going to get to, has a home run. And Parker Messick goes 5 2/3, 6 strikeouts. It gets a little dicey. Tim Herron is in for a little bit. And then Hunter Gaddis kind of settles it down for the boys, and they get out of a little bit of it could have been a worrying spot. And then before that, it was a 4-0 sweep of the Tigers. AJ Hinch, I think it's AJ Hinch, is the Tigers manager. He said it. He's like, Cleveland runs this division. It goes through them. If we're going to sit here and act like this is our division to win, we got to be honest and be like, it runs through them. Something along those lines. And you know what? You're darn right it does, AJ. This division runs through Cleveland. 32 and 23 now. 582 win percentage, just slightly worse than the Yankees for the second best in the league in the American League. Tampa Bay Rays up at 34 and 16, having just a hell of a year for the Rays. But Cleveland just doing the things, just doing the Cleveland things, and it's because it does feel like there's been a little bit more production offensively. You got guys in the lineup actually with positive WARs. Chase DeLauter, Jose, obviously, Angel Ramirez. Brian Rocchio has been a very good player. 1.8 WAR. His OBP, his on-base percentages, is 370. His OPS is 781. 48 hits, 24 runs, 27 RBIs. Leads the team in RBIs. Brian Rocchio does. He's stolen some bases. He's getting some walks. He's not striking out much. Of guys who play all the games, he basically leads the team in strikeouts, taken 52 games. Only person on the team who's played more than him is Jose, and he has 23 strikeouts. Only people that, play a bunch of games that have less are Hedges, who's played 25 games, so 30 less almost, and Travis Bazzana, who's played 24 games. Other than that, Bo Naylor, but again, he's played 28 games. He's been terrible. Bo Naylor's been terrible. I think he just got sent down, actually. Did he get sent down to AAA? Let me double check that. He's showing on the 40-man roster. I don't know. It's not telling me. He should be. They made the trade for that guy the other day. But Travis Bazzana came up at the end of April, and I saw a stat on his numbers from the last 18 games or something like that. This month, whatever it is. He's played 24 games in the bigs. He's hitting 294 with a 400 OBP, slugging at 424, which is second on the team to only Angel Ramirez. It's just great. 3 home runs already, 10 RBIs, 7 stolen bases. He's gotten 13 walks already. Strikeout numbers are a little high. 17 strikeouts already through 24 games, but you know what? You live with it. It's like somebody else on this team just had to do something other than Jose, and there's a couple of guys doing things. And the pitching staff is starting to figure it out a little bit. So it's like, okay, here we go. Or not starting to figure it out, but has figured it out again. Tanner Bybee being 0-6 is just absolutely hilarious, though. He's got a better ERA than Slade Ciccone. It's very comparable to Joey Cantillo and Gavin Williams. I mean, it's a little worse, but 0-6. Just awesome. Meanwhile, Gavin Williams, so 3.75 ERA for Tanner Bybee. Gavin Williams, 3.25 ERA. Gavin Williams is 7-3. Tanner Bybee is 0-6. Not ideal, but, you know, wins are such just a dumb stat in baseball. I mean, pitched 60 innings. He's given them good work. I mean, same amount of earned runs allowed as Gavin Williams on 9 less innings. So, you know, obviously that's going to come in there. His strikeout numbers are down, which is something a little bit to be worried of. He's not a huge strikeout guy, but like it is just a hair down. So maybe something to just kind of keep your eye on. But, you know, Parker Messick has been just a godsend. Gavin Williams getting it kind of figured out. Joey Cantillo. So, I mean, 4 pitchers with a WAR over 1. Zombrowski coming off out of the pen has a WAR of close to 1. Like this is, I don't know. This feels better than it did last year, especially at this point. So hoping some good things could happen. There's quite the week coming up. They got the Nationals here this starting tonight. I'm recording this kind of midday here on Memorial Day afternoon. So Nationals coming up tonight. A little homestand before the Red Sox also come into town Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next week it's out to the Evil Empire and then down to Texas. And then the Yankees are right back around. So it's just kind of a bounce back. But either way, I am feeling a little more optimistic about Cleveland at this point in the year than I usually do. So excited. I'm excited for that. And Travis Bazzana, I'm very excited for. Over in the hockey world, Golden Knights get up 3-0 in that series. I was watching that game a little bit last night. I was like, the Avalanche. The Avalanche are cooking here, boys. They're going to tie this thing up. I was in bed or asleep or watching something else by the time I wake up this morning. I think I went to sleep. It was like 3-1. I don't think it was 3-2 yet. I think at best it was 3-1, but you're like, oh, Vegas won? What happened? They were up 3-0 in the first. Yeah, it turns out they won. My adopted Carolina Hurricanes, they play today at 7. They picked up a win in their conference finals on Saturday with an OT win for them. Canadians sent that in with a goal in the third, but then the Canes come away with it. The Canes were something like, was it like 1-17 in their last however many trips to the conference finals? 1-17? No, 1-17 wouldn't make sense. That's 18 games. You can't get to 18 games. I guess you could. You could have been 1-16. You would have lost four different times. Actually, won. Then you lose the first. Yeah, I think it was 1-17 after their first game, whatever that was. Thursday. Yep, Thursday. But yeah, tied it up 1-1. Going to Montreal up north of the border. We'll see how they react. So let's keep this thing rolling. Time for some passing thoughts. Okay, first off, I want to start off. I think where'd he go? He was right over. He really tucked himself back in the car. My man Boomer's 6-year-old puppy now. Just a big old puppy at heart. 6-year-old dog. His birthday was this past weekend, so 6 years for my big dude. I got to shout out my guy Boomer. All right. So first of all, Aaron Rodgers has said one last ride, baby. This is it. He's like, I'm retiring after this year. And Rodgers is my guy. And I'll be honest with you. I didn't like Rodgers to start. I was like, what are we doing? We got Favre. It's the same thing that happened to me with Love. I was like, what are we doing? We got Rodgers. But Rodgers became my dude. And I was like, I don't know. He might be a little weird, but goddamn, on the football field, he fucking slaps. And then, like, the more and more you hear him, like, I might actually like Rodgers just all right. Anyway, Rodgers is my guy. So I'm ready to be hurt once again. Like, I'm ready to buy in like I did this year. And I'm just ready, man. Like, I'm just absolutely ready for this to be a thing and like to go down on this ride with Rodgers for one last time. Him and Big Mike, saw the pictures of him and Big Mike at OTAs or training camp or whatever the hell we're calling it. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready for it. Let's go. One last time, Rodgers. One last time. And then this thing happened on Twitter. And it was that Rodgers wasn't even as good as John Elway. Because a lot of the talk of Rodgers is just arm talent, ability. There may not have ever been anybody better than Aaron Rodgers. And he just didn't get it done enough. Didn't win a Super Bowl, you know. And then now we're spinning around like, nope, John Elway was the most physically gifted ever. And I don't love and you can say this about so many different things. It's hard to compare eras. It's hard to compare a guy who played a lot of his career in the 80s and the remainder of it in the 90s when football was played differently. So the people going down and being like, Rodgers touchdowns, Elway touchdowns, Rodgers interceptions, Elway. No, like it just didn't work like that. Like you didn't throw the ball for touchdowns down near the end zone. You threw the ball downfield a lot more. Like it led to more interceptions and less touchdowns and less passing yards. So I don't like the side by side. Here's all Rodgers stats. Here's all Elway stats. Rodgers stats are going to be better just because of when he played. I am still going to make the argument that Rodgers is a better quarterback, a better comparison to the players of his era versus what Elway was to his. And there's a lot of stats floating around out there talking about, like, if you compare Elway's touchdown interception ratio, Elway's yards to, like, and people have gotten in depth, like the 19 contemporaries that played more than X amount of games, like he ranks here on this, and they're relatively lower down the scale. Like there was one thing he ranked 16 of 19 with. And I'm not trying to knock John Elway. He carried some rather okay Denver teams into the playoffs and just couldn't quite get it done. And then at the end of the career, did what he needed to do. Give the ball to Terrell Davis, don't turn it over a bunch, and ride that dude to a couple Super Bowls back to back. Terrell Davis was the absolute star of that team for those two Super Bowls they won. But my comparison between Rodgers and Elway is going to be comparable amounts of playoff wins and Super Bowls. You know, Rodgers getting the second one would have been a big deal for him. And I'm not trying to knock John Elway. John Elway was a fantastic player. Rodgers is a better player. And you can say this by comparing them to how they fared with accolades against those others in their times. John Elway never earned a first or second team All-Pro selection, which is wild because he also won the league MVP in 1987. He should have gotten an All-Pro probably for that. You would have to think. He was selected to the Pro Bowl 9 times. He was named to the NFL's All-Decade team in the 90s. Again, John Elway is a fantastic player. Fantastic player. Aaron Rodgers was a 4-time NFL MVP. Aaron Rodgers was a 4-time first-team All-Pro. He was a 1-time second-team All-Pro. He was also a 10-time Pro Bowler. He led the NFL in passer rating on 4 different occasions. He led the NFL in touchdowns on 2 different occasions. He is in the 2010s NFL All-Decade team. Aaron Rodgers is a more accomplished, better football player than John Elway. That is no disrespect to John Elway, but I'm not going to let people sit around and say that Aaron Rodgers isn't as good as John Elway. And this isn't a new age versus old age. I'm a Michael Jordan is a better guy than LeBron James guy. And you can line it up and say the things they do, the way they win, the accolades they get against the players of their similar generation, not just straight up totals, not just straight up, hey, points in this, like the games get played different. Aaron Rodgers accomplished more versus his peers than John Elway did versus his peers outside of that one extra Super Bowl, which goes a long way. And if you want to say, hey, you know what, I'll take all that, but John Elway on the Super Bowls. Okay, I mean, I guess I'll let you have it, but I disagree. Aaron Rodgers is a better player than John Elway. And I stand by that. While we're on football, I just want to address something that I saw that Jason Kelce said, because I agree with this 100%. Here's a quote from I think this was on his podcast. Sunday is the day of football, right? You gear your entire week around watching football on Sunday. It's an institution at this point, the NFL playing games on Sunday. With every day we keep adding in there, we're getting away from that just a little bit. I worry that we're getting away from that just a little bit by building too many of these. So a little bit of a weird kind of truncated quote, but I think I agree with the premise 100%. The premise that we've got Wednesday games, we've got Thanksgiving Eve games, we got 3 Thanksgiving Day games. The Sunday slate on Thanksgiving week is going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little weird, I bet. There's a Black Friday game that week. So what's that? That's what, November 27th? It's Friday, so that'd be the 29th. NFL schedule. Oops. NFL schedule. 11/29. So at 1 p.m., Falcons, Vikings, that could be bad. Ravens, Texans, could be solid. Raiders, Browns, could be bad. Saints, Bengals, who knows what the Bengals, that could end up being okay. Giants, Colts, Jets, Dolphins, Titans, Jags at 4 o'clock. Seahawks, 49ers, that'll be a good one. At 4:30, you'd have to think Commanders, Cardinals. Could be rough. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games early, 3 games late, and then a Sunday nighter. Because you have 5 games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And hey, on Wednesday when I'm watching my Packers, I'm going to be locked in. On Thursday on Thanksgiving, in between meals and everything, I'll be sitting in front of a TV. On Friday, probably not going to have a whole lot going on. I'm probably going to be sitting there checking that game out too and not really complaining about it. But when we get to Sundays, and this was happening last year, as you get to the stretches where you've got a lot of these other day games, your Sunday afternoons, particularly that 1 o'clock slot, which I think is some of the most fun time to watch football when you've got a loaded up slate. You can have that. You can, you're running your 2 TVs. You got a game on. You got the red zone on, vice versa. You got 2 games, however you like to do it. Those are getting diluted. And it stinks because it can make, and I'm a guy who loves to check in. For me, it's noon. At 12 o'clock, the countdown on Red Zone is on, and I'm ready to go. I'm last minute checking all my rosters for fantasy football. If it's a day where I'm going to have some beverages, I've got one ready. Maybe I got a bag of chips. I'm locked in and I'm ready to roll. And then we get there and it's like, okay, there's maybe one good matchup. Now, hey, you might get some crazy games, but what are the implications of them? And there were a couple Sunday early slates where it was a bit of a slog to get through. And I found myself just being like, okay, no, I'm here. I think we got to be careful. I think we're pushing it. We're pushing it, man. We're pushing it. Rob Bass, known for the song It Takes Two. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally, no, died of cancer. Private battle with cancer. 59. 59. That sucks. That song slaps. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. We'll do this. Apparently Ben Simmons is a pro fisherman. That was actually one I forgot. Ben Simmons, pro fisherman. Basketball didn't work out for him. I saw him on a picture on a pro fisher circuit. Where would that picture go? I gotta see this. I've lost it. Did I delete the picture? I may have deleted the picture. I must have deleted the picture. But anyway, Ben Simmons. Apparently he's in the pro fishing circuit now. So there you go. There you go. I've been trying a number of different transfusions over the last couple weeks of the can variety. Had the high noon, which I was happy with. Tried the good boy at my golf course the other day. Wasn't a huge fan of that one. Didn't do it for me. The roommate got the Cutwater ones. Little too gingery for my liking. I will say, I took it out of the can, poured it over some ice in a cup. It was, for whatever reason, it tasted better. Maybe the ginger really seeps into that can and really sticks with you. I don't know. As of right now, the high noon transfusion is going to the lead. It'll have to it'll be there until otherwise noted. I had a funny moment. I was driving back to my house or something, and I saw two kids on an electric scooter. Those fucking scooters are all over. They're dangerous as shit. None of these kids, follow the rules. And I'm having my old man yells at cloud moment. And two kids are on a scooter. At least one of them was on their cell phone. The passenger was definitely on her cell phone. I'm not positive if the front person was or not. It might have just been like on a attachment there. And I'm in a car. I'm like, oh, geez, these kids. No, there's no sense to none. And I was like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you're an idiot. You would have done the exact same thing. And guess what? You did do the exact same thing, because I remember riding down Watch Street on a scooter that had no power with Garrett Sims. We were riding from his house on Watch Street down the hill. It wasn't even that big of a hill. We wipe out. We lay in the middle of the road. And one of our other friends, one of Kevin Davenport, friend of the pod, his dad comes driving down the road. He's like, you guys are idiots. You can't be laying in the middle of the road. Like, get out of the road. What are you two dipshits doing? So I had all this go through my head, and I had to remember, like, hey, back off. Don't become old man yells at cloud over everything. Like, kids are dumb. Kids have always been dumb. I was dumb. You were dumb. You do really, really dumb shit. And now it's just all on camera, unfortunately, for these poor souls. Speaking of other dumb things, I did find it funny that Thomas Massey, if you're not familiar, he's a guy from the House of Representatives from Kentucky, very much of kind of a libertarian wing of the Republican Party, talks about the national debt, was really pushing for the Epstein files, lost his primary to a guy very much supported by Trump. So because he lost his primary to a guy supported by Trump, all of a sudden, this just cracks me up. It said Democrats are his favorite thing. And it just made me laugh how fast either Democrats or Republicans will then all of a sudden be like, oh, look, this guy lost. We're going to pretend to like him. I can't believe the Republicans treated so-and-so. I'm like, you treated him that way 2 minutes ago. But then he lost, and the guy you really hate lined up a guy to beat him. So now you're going to act like you're his friends. Like, you have railed against everything this guy has ever stood for and been for. But because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, here we go. Fucking losers. Oh. If they only all weren't so dumb. I'll tell you what, you know who's dumb? This Taylor Lorenz lady. This tweet is just beyond amazing. Just beyond amazing. NYC bagel shops need to get with the times. The bagels in LA suck. but all the LA bagel shops at least use cashew-based vegan cream cheese. New York City bagel shops almost never have vegan cream cheese, or they're using hyper-processed tofuti. I hope Zoran can remedy this. What in the literal fuck are we talking about? It's cream cheese. Get it or don't. And if you don't get it, shut up. Vegan cream, like, certain things are made from certain things. Get the fuck over it or don't eat it. And you want the mayor of the city to dictate what a bagel shop sells for cream cheese? Cashew based? Good gracious. I don't know. Tina Turner sung What's Love Got to Do with It, by the way. Let's go close this thing up. Closing time, everybody. Just want to say thank you to everybody for the support. Appreciate the watches. Appreciate the listens. Don't forget to check out my guy MJ over at the Full Range Pod. You can find that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. And thank you to everybody. I want to thank producer Kevy for helping get started on video. We are back next week. More golf, more baseball, more of the dumb stuff I think of in my crazy nuts dumb head. Until then, peace.